Today we're going to look at this Class D amp. This is the MA5332. This is made by, the IC is made by Infineon. This is the board here. So we're going to look at the size of the board. About 62 mm, 104 mm. We have some shielded inductor. We have 6 capacitors here. This is 470 UF, 50 volt. It is made by Aisha. I don't know how you pronounce that. Aishi. 6 pieces, so 3/8 rail. And we have some Wima caps here. So that's 7805. Let's see what's this one. Okay, so this one is a 7905. 7805. This one is 7805 and this 7905. That's MJD 111C. That's a 100 volt transistor. Let's see what is this one. This one is a 7810 10 volts regulator. This is MA5332 IC. I've looked at the heatsink and the thermal pad under the heatsink, under the light, and it looks like the heatsink that does not properly press down on the thermal pad. So I'm going to remove this heatsink here and maybe remove the separator and mount it without the As you can see, the thermal pad is very clean and there's no impression on the thermal pad. It means it does not properly touch the PCB, so this heatsink will be useless. So I'm going to try to remove this plastic here and I'm going to mount it without that. I have now mounted the heatsink without this two spacer. Now the heatsink has proper contact with the thermal pad and the PCB. This board is made by Shenzhen Pillor Electronic. So it says 250 watt times 2, MA5332 version 1.3. This is our power supply here. This is the positive side, this is the negative side, and the center is the ground. Power supply is dual polarity, 22 volts to 40 volts. This board does not come with the connector, depending on where you buy this one. So when my board arrived, it does not have the connector here for the output and the power supply. It also does not have the connector for the input, so I have to buy this one also separately. This is the IC used in the board, MA5332. This is made by Infineon. 200 watts stereo, 2 channel, Class D. .95 watt efficiency, 200 watts at 4 ohms. Power output of the amplifier, 10% THD, 200 watts in 4 ohms, 160 in 6 ohms. So this the spec says This IC can do 400 watts in 8 ohms in BTL. So this is the specs of the IC for single-ended configuration. That is for stereo, 6 ohms, 10% HD, 40 volts power supply, 160 watts. 4 ohms, 10% HD, 200. So this board can do 2 ohms, 10% HD at 23 volts, 150 watts. So this is the board here. It costs about 33 pounds, 75 pence. This board is a little bit expensive. And remember that when I got this one, it did not include the connector and the input cable. So you have to buy that separately. For the price, you can buy, for half the price of this, you can get 80-3255. Also, you can get this board here, this PBTL, for just 25 pounds. Size wise, this board is smaller than the Bundom TP8255. It's about 150 grams. We're going to use this power supply here. This is a symmetrical 40 volts power supply. I have now connected the board to our power supply here. And we also have our 1 kHz ultra low noise oscillator. I also have a class D TD8932 power amp connected here for comparison. This is the power supply for our 8932. This is the DC offset of the amplifier. We have two signal here. We have the output of the MA5332 and the 8932. Look at this yellow signal here and compare it to the blue signal. Is that even a sine wave? Is that even a sine wave? Is that even a sine wave? What is that? Look at that. What the heck is that signal? The blue one is from the 8932 and this one is from the MA5332. And that signal is the switching frequency. Okay, so I have to lower the horizontal control so we can display our 1 kHz signal, and that is our 1 kHz signal. If I increase the horizontal control, the second division, it's showing the switching frequency of the MA5332 instead of the 1 kHz input signal. Okay, so I'm going to lower that. Now that is our 1 kHz input signal. And look at that. What the hell is that? Okay, so I'm increasing the input amplitude to our amplifier. Look at that. Look at that. Is that even a sine wave? Is that 1 kHz signal? Look at the output of the TD8932. It's very clean compared to the MA5332 from Infineon. I don't know, is this board defective? Just look at the noise. Okay, let's measure the clipping of this amplifier. I'm going to turn off the channel 2 for the 8932. See if we can get this to clipping. Itong load. Look at the ugly signal. Yeah, that is clipping. 78 volts. Let me push that and let's sum up the signal. Just look at that. What is that signal? See, that's the switching noise from the amplifier. Okay, so that's clipping. This looks like a square wave, no? This looks like a sawtooth. Sawtooth with flat at the top. A flat top sawtooth. Okay, I'm gonna stop the testing of this amplifier because the output of this is just really bad. It's really noisy. It's full of switching noise. Maybe this amp is faulty. I just don't know. I only have this one, and this is also too expensive for the price of this amplifier. You can buy to TPA 8932 like this one dome here, or dual PBTL TPA 3255 board. The class D amp, I can recommend the this one dome board here instead of this Infineon MA5332 board. This board is made by Shenzhen Pillor Electronic, and this board even claimed 250 watts. This is just a rubbish board. I cannot recommend this one. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.